right now.
On this Sunday, more showers and storms on radar today, some of them coming with warnings from the National Weather Service.
Now let's get straight to Mia Montgomery. Mia, we know that at least one of these is severe.
Yep, that's what we've been monitoring throughout the afternoon, settling into a little bit more of an active weather pattern over the weekend, all starting with those storms that moved in Friday night. Let's get you straight to the radar. What we're still monitoring right now, we've got one severe thunderstorm warning that continues for far eastern Frio County. That's going to run for the next 30 minutes. This storm was warned for the potential to see a few isolated wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. And where you're seeing that pink color, southwest of Bigfoot, north of Goldfinch, this is well east of the I-35 corridor. That's also where we could be seeing some hailstones upwards of the size of about a quarter. This is actually taking more of a south-southeasterly track. So if it can continue on that track, could move into the far western portions of Atascosa County near Crown by 5:35 to 5:40 and near the community of Charlotte closer to the top of the 6 p.m. hour. We also have some strong but non-severe storms moving through northeastern Uvalde County, far western Medina County. Flash flood warning continues for that green polygon through 6:30 p.m. And then just here in San Antonio, nothing severe, but some light to moderate rain is pushing through the southern half of Bexar County and down the 181 corridor. We'll have another full look at the radar, what we can expect this evening. Some rain chances fizzling out, but more continue into this week. So we'll talk about all of that coming up in just a few, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Mia. Now to the big news of the day. Chaos at North Star Mall this afternoon after reports of a shooting inside. San Antonio police have made it clear this was not an active shooter. They say one man was targeted, shot, and killed at a barber shop there.
Camelia Juarez was at a press conference with police just about an hour ago. She joins us now live with more.
Tim, Courtney, a man in his 40s is now dead after San Antonio police say, quote, he was shot in cold blood while getting a haircut inside the mall. It happened just after 3 on the south side of the mall near Rector Road. That's just behind me. There were 2 suspects who took off on Rector Road. Police have not yet found them and are not yet able to provide a description. SAPD is calling this an isolated and targeted incident. We asked police if this was related to any of the other targeted shootings we reported on this weekend. Police say it is not.
The shooting we had yesterday, the chief advised the media that one wasn't related to the one we had on Friday. We know this one is not related to the one we had yesterday.
Now, North Star Mall will remain closed for the rest of the day. And coming up on the Night Beat, we hear from people who work inside the mall and are now shaken. Live from North Star Mall, Camelia Juarez.
San Antonio police say a 16-year-old boy was shot this afternoon on the city's west side. That shooting happening in a parking lot in the 3300 block of Colima Street, not far from Castroville Road. Officers at the scene say that teen was inside of a red pickup truck with another male when the suspect shot the teen in the leg. Police say they don't know exactly what led up to that shooting. When they got there, the teen was found on the ground. The suspect fled in that red pickup truck. SAPD's Eagle helicopter searched for that suspect but did not find them. The victim taken to a hospital. Police say he was in stable condition.
An 18-year-old man killed in a shooting yesterday on the east side has now been identified by the medical examiner. Jeremiah Hardiman was shot and killed on Saturday at the Antioch Village Apartments on Upland Road. He was pronounced dead at the scene at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Police Chief William McManus said the gunfire exchanged was because of a targeted attack, but Hardiman was not the intended target. A car with multiple suspects waited and shot at Hardiman and 2 other victims.
A family argument at a home on the west side ends with one person in police custody, another injured. It all happened on Dull Green Avenue near Castroville Road about 3 a.m. Police say they received reports of a suspect attacking their own family member with what they said was a bladed weapon. The victim suffered some wounds and was taken to the hospital. Police say it's unclear right now if that victim was stabbed or cut. They're still investigating that incident.
Recovery operations continuing at the site of a 6-story apartment building that partially collapsed in Iowa. One person has been confirmed dead. Emergency teams found the body of Brandon Colvin Sr. on Saturday. 2 people remain missing and are feared to be dead. The cause of the collapse still remains under investigation, but sources say the day before the building fell, inspectors noticed a brick facade separated from the interior wall. It's unclear if this was the cause of the collapse, but they say signs of the building's damage were evident days before its fall.
Yesterday, President Joe Biden signed the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023. It suspends the nation's debt limit through early 2025. According to President Biden, the bill prevents a default while reducing the deficit. CNN's Shelley Malashi has reactions to the bill signing from both sides of the aisle.
President Joe Biden signing into law a bipartisan budget agreement on Saturday, ahead of the June 5th deadline for when the Treasury Department said it would have run out of money to pay its bills in full and on time. The legislation suspends the nation's $31.4 trillion debt through January 1, 2025, and increases the limit on January 2, 2025. On Friday, ahead of signing the bill, President Biden speaking to the nation on the agreement.
It was critical to reach an agreement, and it's very good news for the American people. No one got everything they wanted, but the American people got what they needed.
The new bill also caps non-defense spending. It expands work requirements for some food stamp recipients and claws back some COVID-19 relief funds, among other policy provisions.
The bill is passed.
Meanwhile, the deal faced backlash from both the far left and the far right, but it ultimately won support from a wide range of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
One of our goals is to make sure we got nothing close to what you saw in the House Republican bill.
Every single red line that they laid down, we crossed right over in negotiations, resulting in the largest savings in any legislation in the history of the Congress.
Now, as Americans and candidates gear up for the upcoming 2024 presidential election, the threat of default will no longer be a potential issue. I'm Shelley Malashi reporting.
Still ahead, you still have time to vote early for the city council runoff election if you haven't already. We'll give you the complete details on how and where after the break.
And just in time for National Dog Bite Awareness Week, the United States Postal Service releasing its report on which states has the most attacks against their mail carriers. We'll tell you where when we return.
Well, delivering the mail is not for the faint of heart. An annual reminder when the United States Post Office releases a list of states where the most carriers are bit by dogs. In 2022, California and Texas had the highest number of dog bites in the entire country. California had 675 reported attacks, while Texas had 404. Los Angeles, Houston, and Dallas carried the highest numbers. The Postal Service says more than 5,300 employees were attacked by dogs last year.
Those are bad dogs. Early voting is set to end soon for the city council runoff, but you still have some time to get in there to get your vote in early. In fact, you have 2 more days until June 6th to cast your early ballot for city council representatives for District 1 and 7. The polls will open at 8 in the morning and close at 8 in the evening. And if you don't get a chance to get out for the early voting, you can always wait until Election Day, which will be June 10th, to check to see which district you're in and where to vote. You can visit our article right over there at KSAT.com. All right, Mia is over in the weather department tracking those storms. She'll tell you where they are and where they're going when we come back.
Good news when it comes to the storms that we've been monitoring, especially west of the I-37 corridor. The severe thunderstorm warning that was in place for far eastern Frio County, that actually has been allowed to expire. It still is a strong storm. There is the potential to find some hail up to about a penny size right as it crosses into far western Atascosa County, nearing Charlotte. And still, we could find some wind gusts upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. But the National Weather Service has allowed that severe thunderstorm warning to expire. So as of right now, we don't have any active severe thunderstorm warnings in place with this activity. But I do want to give you another updated timing storm track here with this particular storm as it does cross into the far western reaches of Atascosa County. It is moving farther off to the southeast at about 20 miles per hour. It is going to be nearing the Charlotte area within the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then it will continue to move farther into southwestern Atascosa County and eventually clipping the far northern reaches of McMullen County. A little bit farther off to the south, some additional strong but non-severe thunderstorms continue well to the east of I-35 out there in LaSalle County. Here in San Antonio, nothing severe today, so that is also good news. We just continue to find some pockets of light to moderate rain that continue along the 410 corridor, even down 181, down I-37 and 281 as well. Floresville picking up on some light to moderate rain. That's going to be nearing the Poth area, China Grove, Mitchell Lake, really the far southern and southeastern portions of Bexar County. Still seeing a little bit of that light to moderate rain here this hour. In terms of a few more storms that have developed out of Medina County and especially near Concan, northern Uvalde County near Highway 83. Non-severe, but still, especially where we're seeing a few pink pockets here in the reflectivity values. Maybe a little bit of pea to penny size hail possible. Generally, that's moving farther off to the southeast as well. And by the way, we still do have this flash flood warning that continues for northern Medina, southern Bandera, and far northern reaches of Uvalde counties through 6:30 p.m. Some very heavy rainfall was found earlier today to the tune of a quick 2 to even 3 inches in spots. So we could still find some issues out there, especially in poor drainage and low-lying areas. Again, that does expire at about 6:30. Now, what can we expect throughout the remainder of the evening? Generally, the storms we have right now should be on a weakening trend. And I think by later on tonight and especially into the early morning hours of our Monday, just an isolated chance for a couple of stray showers certainly possible. That will be the theme by wake up time tomorrow. Most will likely stay dry, but a few showers certainly not off the table. Then as we head into the afternoon, know that this is by about 3 to 4 o'clock. We could find some widely scattered activity. We've got it at about a 30 to 40% potential better chances in the mid to late afternoon hours. Temperature wise, we're going to start off in the upper 60s by morning drive time tomorrow. Temperatures are headed for the mid to upper 80s here in San Antonio for those daytime highs. Into Tuesday and Wednesday, we've just got a 30% potential for a few more isolated showers and storms each afternoon. And then that comes down to about a 20% potential into the back half of the week. So still not finished with the rain chances. Most of us, though, likely going to stay dry each afternoon, especially as we head into the middle to later portions of the week. And speaking of which, that's also when we'll see more sunshine return. Temperatures crank back up into the low 90s. So if you like the slightly below average temperatures, next couple days are just for you.
There for us then, Tim.
They are. All right, before he makes it to the NBA, Wemby has some unfinished business in France.
That's correct, and he's playing his old team, Postal, who happens to also be owned by former Spur Tony Parker. When we come back, we'll take you out to France for the highlights from the clinching game in the semifinals of their pro league. Plus, new Bryce Miller goes head-to-head with one of the best lineups in the majors in Texas. Got that too next.
Antoine Gio va tourner, c'est fini, c'est fait. Les Metropolitans sont en finale.
Congratulations to the Metropolitans 92. They're heading to their first LNB Pro A finals in big board sports. That's right, future Spur Victor Wembanyama is still playing overseas. His current team, Metropolitans 92, knocked off Tony Parker's team, Asvel, in Game 4 today, 71-69 to win their best-of-5 semifinal series 3-1. Wemby was all over the court as usual, posting 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks. He displayed a wide range of shots, but most importantly, he came up clutch. With under 2 minutes to play, Wemby knocked down the eventual game-winning basket. Then when Asvel was trying to rally, he recovered defensively to record one last block. Wemby and Metropolitans 92 will play top-ranked Monaco in a best-of-5 final series starting on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. San Antonio time. Meanwhile, back here in the States, the NBA Finals continue tonight in Denver, where the Nuggets are 9-0 these playoffs. That includes a 104-93 victory over the Miami Heat in Game 1 on Thursday night. In spite of their solid performance, Nuggets head coach Michael Malone did not think his team played particularly well. Nikola Jokic posted a triple-double in his NBA Finals debut. He thinks Game 2 will require a more intense mindset.
Just being a focus for 48 minutes, I think that's going to be the key. Just the way how they play, and they always they don't let their guard down, and they always playing the same way with the same pace, and I think that's why they are great.
After dominating most of the playoffs, Jimmy Butler finished Game 1 with only 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Some have attributed his struggles to Denver's defensive length. How does Butler feel about that?
I just think I got to do a better job of getting the ball, demanding the ball, being more aggressive. That's just that, and that'll change come game 2. Yes, they do have some really good defenders, but I've seen really good defenders before.
Game 2 tips off tonight at 7 p.m. You can watch it live right here on KSAT 12. Let's head to the majors, where New Braunfels grad and Mariners pitcher Bryce Miller tries to stop the Rangers machine in Texas. After a leadoff double and a walk, Miller starts to settle in, first getting an inside called strike 3 on Nathaniel Lowe. Then right after that, he gets Adolis Garcia looking for back-to-back strikeouts, and he's 1 out away from escaping the jam. But Miller ends up walking MacArthur grad Josh Young, loading the bases. And that's when the dam breaks. 2 pitches later, Jonah Heim drops a base hit into left. 2 runs come in to score, and the Rangers lead 2-0 after 1. Then, bottom 3, Texas really takes it to Miller, putting 5 runs on the board. Miller only goes 2 1/3 innings, getting up 8 hits and 7 runs, and the Rangers cruise to a sweep, 12-3. Astros also tried to break out the brooms today against the Angels. Bottom 5, no score. Yainer Diaz. Bye, Felicia. A solo shot breaks the ice. It's 1-0 Houston. But the Angels rally in this one. Top 8, 1 on. Shohei Ohtani puts a charge in a deep right. Not going to leave the yard, but it'll plate the go-ahead run all the way from first. Showtime helps the Angels avoid a sweep. Astros fall 2-1. The Longhorns baseball team will play for a regional title today. Following a lengthy weather delay last night, Texas jumped out to an early lead and cruised to a 4-1 victory over Miami in the Coral Gables Regional. Sophomore pitcher LeBaron Johnson was stellar on the mound, escaping 2 bases-loaded jams in the first 2 innings and going the distance on 129 pitches, striking out 8 batters. Did he ask his coach to go back out there in the 9th to close out the win?
He came to me. I didn't have to do that. He said he wanted it. You know, Coach Woody came up to me and said, "You want it?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." So, you know, I try my best. I just knew I had to keep going for my team, for my pen, for my offense. I just try to dig deep, and you know, I thank the Lord for allowing me to get through it. It's surreal, honestly, right now. I'm still trying to process it.
The Longhorns will play Miami again for the regional title as we speak. Texas only needs 1 win to advance to the Super Regional. For the first time in program history, the Bernie champion baseball team is heading to state. After dropping Game 1 of their regional final series against Leander Rouse on Thursday night, the Chargers headed to the Wolf and rallied to win Friday's Game 2 6-5, then completed another rally yesterday afternoon to win Game 3 9-4 and punch their tickets to Dell Diamond in Round Rock. The schedule has been set. Bernie champion will face Argyle in the Class 5A state semifinals on Thursday at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, Canyon softball saw their historic season come to an end, 1 win short of bringing home a state title yesterday. The Cougarettes only managed 1 hit against Florida commit Ava Brown in their 8-0 Class 5A state championship game loss to Montgomery Lake Creek. It might not be the end that they envisioned, but this senior class has certainly left their mark at Canyon.
It's a tremendous legacy, and we talked to them early on in the season about this, about being the first Canyon team ever to go through a regular season undefeated, and they put that goal on their shoulders, and they pushed everyone. They worked their rears off to get here. It says a lot about them and their leadership and their ability to set goals and go work for them.
Canyon is losing 2 seniors, including senior pitcher, Haley Carmona, but the rest of the lineup's coming back, so they have a great chance to go back.
All right, Andrew, I wore my Buckeye best for you today. I want to take this opportunity to wish you well. Andrew is leaving us. This is our last show with him. He's still got instant replay tonight, but after that, he's taken his talents back home to Dallas.
I hope my dad isn't watching, but I wore Michigan colors for you, so you know who your favorite is.
I'm calling her dad.
I appreciate it, and I'm asking everyone to please root for Michigan as long as Tim is at the desk. That's all I ask. We go Big Blue. Keep it going.
You can never go wrong going back home. We wish you well.
Thank you so much.
We'll miss you, buddy.
All right, nothing severe right now, but still monitoring these strong storms moving into southwestern Atascosa, far southeastern Frio, and northeastern LaSalle counties. Those continue to move farther off to the southeast. These storms near Concan, northern Uvalde County, and even into Medina County are weakening, so that's great. We'll continue to monitor that, plus a few additional storm chances as we head into the week, guys.
All right, thank you, Mia. We'll see you back here tonight after the NBA Finals Game 2, whatever that might be.
Have a good evening.